Hey, what's up guys? This video was on the Sony 930E. We covered the 940E in our last video, and this video is primarily going to focus on should you purchase it, what are its strengths, what are its weaknesses. And for me, people ask me why I don't have the 930E, and it's simple. If they had a 75-inch 930E, I'd have it. End of video. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, guys. Just kidding. I say that because the 930E is actually pretty amazing. It has incredible high peak brightness, second only to the Sony Z. It's a little bit brighter than the 940E, except the reason I think it beats both of those displays is that it has a different panel, and it has none of the pixel response problems of the Sony Z and the Sony 940E, which controls their motion, not just in games, but in movies as well, like animation. So the 930E is actually, in my opinion, if they had made models that ranged in sizes a little bit higher, I think would be selling almost as much as the 900E. It is a little expensive, but again, very high peak brightness, very deep blacks for an edge-lit display, no motion problems at all, excellent HDR performance. Like the rest of the Sony step-up line, it will have an upgrade to Dolby Vision later this year. So what are the drawbacks of the Sony 930E? Well, the only one I can really think of is that it's edge-lit. And unfortunately, edge-lit displays do have their problems. I owned the KS9000 series last year, and they were plagued with light bleed and flash lighting. And the 930E doesn't seem to have these issues. I researched it, there doesn't seem to be a lot of problems with them. So it's pretty incredible for a TV so bright not to have the same problems that the KS line had, because the KS line was so bright and so thin, which I think is part of the problem, guys. Is squeezing all of this tech into a thin bezel is creating some bleeding around the displays. The Sony 930E, as we said before, maxes out at 65 inches. I believe they did that because I think that that light is hard to control in the edge-lit display on anything higher than 65. So I believe they stopped it at 65 inches. And that brings me to its other weakness, is not really a weakness, but it's very expensive. You know, at a 65-inch display, it costs almost as much as the C7 OLED by LG, and I think that's where it loses people. I think sometimes people look at the price of it, they look at the price of the Sony 900E, then they look at the OLED, and the OLED is considered the best out there. I think they either go with the OLED, but I don't believe one is actually better than the other. I think it all depends on the kind of person you are. If you're somebody that really favored that plasma look, that natural, even, rich color, then the OLED's for you. But I like some of my stuff to look artificial. I like it to pop. I like it to make me say wow. So the 930E offers that. It's just hard that it's the same price. And then the 900E is sitting there so much cheaper. And then the 940E is not much more expensive, but it's larger. But they are very different. But the really important takeaway here, guys, is that for HDR, for that eye-popping color, the 930E for me is the way to go. And the fact that it doesn't struggle with the same motion as even the Sony Z, then the 930E, in my opinion, is a better TV. Even though it's full array, that motion cripples it, and the 930E doesn't struggle with that. So I wouldn't be afraid of the edge-lit part of it, because there doesn't seem to be many issues with it. If you do purchase the TV and you do see clouding or light bleed, send it back. But I believe the 930E is an excellent display, and you have to ask yourself, is it worth the money in terms of its picture quality versus the 900E? It all depends on, guys, what you find value in. I'm pretty particular with my displays, so to me I would pay the extra money for the 930E over the 900E if you can swing it. I paid a couple extra thousand for the 940E over the 900E. Because of that TV's problems, I settled with the 900E, and I'm very, very happy with it. But if you're looking for the highest peak brightness and the highest wow factor, then the Sony 930E is for you. And that's really all I have to say about the 930E.